Welcome to the PureSpirit Bee Yard. Come on, I want to show you something. Here's the bees we're going to be installing. Till we install them later on this afternoon, I have some water in a spray bottle, and I'm just going to spray them and keep them cool and let them set out here on the grass under the mulberry trees. And until I'm ready to pick them, or until I'm ready to install them, I think I'm going to eat some mulberries. There's some really nice mulberries on these trees. I eat mulberries every day in April. There's one. So good. It's nice and cool. And they're sitting there in the grass. I'm going to be installing them in just a little while. Now I'm going to run through the components of the hive. Here's the hive stand. I've already explained how to install that and what it's made out of. On top of the hive stand, I'll install my screened bottom board. The screened bottom board has a removable corrugated sheet to allow for better airflow. On top of the screened bottom board is the slatted rack. On top of the slatted rack is the main chamber of the beehive, the brood box. I have a 10-frame box with 8 frames and 2 dummy boards, one on each end. On top of this goes the ventilated inner cover and top feeder. This in the top feeder is where we put the jars of food. This is sugar water syrup. And I just cover that up with an empty box, a screened cover, and a telescoping cover. One other thing I put in are these entrance reducers, and they just set in front of the door here to close off the entrance to a small little gap. Later on, as the hive grows, I can switch these around, a little bigger gap, or switch them both around, even bigger gap. And I have this little figurine of a grasshopper to put on top of the hive to help identify this hive. This hive is grasshopper. Now that I've showed you all the components of the hive, let's get it ready to install a package of bees. I'll take the inner cover off, and this cover box, the feed jars, I'll put back on later. The inner cover top. So here's where we'll be installing the bees. I'm going to remove the 2 outer boards for now and 2 of the frames. And I'll set those aside for a few days until we come back and fill them back in. So what we're going to do is take a rubber band and put it around one of the center frames, and this is where the little queen cage will go. So we'll come back, put the queen under the rubber band cage, And we'll just set the main box of bees right in here, close it off, and let them alone for a day or two. Hello, I'm Alan, and today in the PureSpirit Bee Yard, I'm going to be showing you how to install a new package of bees. This is the easiest way I know of to install a package. This is a 3-pound package of bees, and they're all clustered around here around the queen cage, which is hanging from a little tab. This is a feeder can, and so I just remove the feeder can. I want to get a good grip on it and then slide it out really slowly. And I want to set the can in front of the hive. Next, I'll take the queen and pull her right out. She has some bees attached to her that are attending to her. I'll just take some flowers and brush them right off into the cage, right off into the bottom of the hive. Okay, let's take a look at the queen. Here's the queen. She's in her cage, and there's a cork in the end of the cage. I'm going to take a screw and use it like a corkscrew and pull that cork out. I'll wait till she's down in the bottom of the cage or looking the other way, or just put my finger right over it. Now next, I take a piece of marshmallow and I squish it right into that hole. There we go. Okay, you can cut that part off. So now we have the queen in the cage. She's a Italian queen marked with a white dot to signify that this is 2011. I have a marshmallow in the end. Now, I have my queen held onto a center frame with a rubber band with the screen side down and the candy end exposed so that bees can eat that and let her out. I'll put that right into the center frame. Now I just take the whole box of bees and I put it right into the hive and just set it there. Now I'll get my brush ready, and I have to take this little piece off that I've stuck here to hold them in. One quick tap. Maybe set that in the front of the hive, and I'll set the hive top right on there. Okay, all the bees are in the box. I cover the hive, I cover the inner feeder, and cover the top box up with the screen cover, the top cover, and we're done. This hive is called Grasshopper. So tomorrow we'll come back and we'll check. Hopefully all the bees will be out of the box and into the frames and reintroduced to the queen, and I can remove the shipping box and insert 2 more frames and 2 follower boards into the box. We'll just lift the top off and take a peek. Oh yeah, they're really coming out nice right there. They're coming out of the box. They want to find the queen, and they're going to find the queen that's hanging on a frame right over here. They're going to bundle around her, and hopefully by tomorrow this box will be empty and I'll take it out. Here's a peek in the inside of the grasshopper hive at 10:30 at night. Okay, so they're mostly connected right here on this center part, right under where the hole is in the cage. Let's look on this side where the queen is. There's also quite a few right there, right on the same frame as the queen cage. So there's a little peek on the inside of the hive at 10:30 at night. It's 3 o'clock the day after installation. Let's check on the bees and see how they're doing. Some of the feed water's down. And this box is empty, just like we wanted it. So here's the box. There's nothing in there except a few dead bees. I'm going to go ahead and just set that on the ground next to it. All the bees are in here on the frames. And the queen is still attached. She's still sealed in there. Now I replace the two frames, number 7 and number 8. I install the two empty boards, just plain pieces of pine on each side. These are called follower boards or dummy boards. So I can reduce a 10 frame box down to an 8 frame box. They're all lined up. One more thing I'm going to add on to this hive is this protein patty that I made. I'm just going to set it right on top of the frame, and I'll let them go and eat that. I install this ventilated top cover and top feeder on top of that. Try to keep the bees out of here, otherwise they're locked in. But I put an empty box on top of just to cover the feeder. Try to keep them out of the box while I put the lid on. And that's the grasshopper hive. We've completed the installation on the hive. This is the 3-pound package container. So we've successfully installed this package into this hive, and they're on their way to being a happy, healthy colony and produce lots of honey for us. This is Alan, and I want to thank you for visiting me in the PureSpirit Bee Yard today.